So for my slice of life, I decided to share one of my poems that I actually wrote down instead of posting on poetry.com like I usually do. This is a poem that I actually wrote back in 7th grade. Let me just a backdrop on that. 6th grade, I thought I was a gangster and a rapper.
Woo! Yeah.
I was in Brian. I wrote little crappy raps. I was a loser. 7th grade, I discovered I really like poetry, and I tried writing this one, and it was good for a 7th grader. And then God put it on my heart a couple months ago. He's like I kept saying the poem to myself, and I was like, and God's like, you can do more with this. You can make this more, because I love slam poetry. I love it so much. If any of you guys know me, I love poetry. So, I rewrote this one, and it's called New Voice, and I guess I'll start it. So, I was sitting with this pen and a pad, and this thought had occurred. I had this new voice, and it's about time it's been heard. About truth, about life, about God, about my strife. While I put down the knife and I allowed God to rebuke thoughts of homicide and suicide. Because in the end, it was I who had to decide whether I lived or I died. When I found out that the way to life is through this holy book, it left me torn, broken, shook. So I looked to the sky and I prayed for forgiveness, hoping my soul would survive. Because my heart and my mind want to thrive in parts unknown. Guys, our lives are not our own. Surrender at the throne to the one who has sown every bone that has grown and has shown how magnificent my God really is. Because he's the best anatomist, chemist, physicist, musicianist, and flat out the perfect artist. He's the best vocalist, merely speaking life into existence. You want to hear his most famous song? Let's listen in the morning to the birds chirp, chirp, chirping away. It's been on the top 40 since the 5th day. Now, I know what you're thinking. My poem has gone astray from what I originally intended to say. So back to the point. Jesus helped me put down the joint and put away the booze. Because the world said, crown me victor. Give me the golden scepter. Robe me in glory. You won. But I knew I would lose. That was the truth. I would lose. I would lose my soul. So I took control by letting part of me go and letting God make me whole. So with his armor and sword, he made me equipped. I washed out my ears with the spiritual Q-tip. I washed away all the wax that built up my whole life because I would relax. I sat back and I ignored these facts that I was supposed to burn for my hideous acts. But alas, his words brought me a little fear. He said, do not worry about who you were then. I brought you here. He said, do not worry about who you were then. I brought you here. He brought you here. And not here as in this town, not this state, not with these people, not this room, not this country, not this world. He brought you here on this path. So let's take some time to do some math. So Jesus, J, is the constant, and U are the variable. So J plus U equals heaven, but U minus J equals hell. There's nothing carryable. You see, when you subtract yourself from God's shower of grace, you're just adding yourself to a sulfuric bath. Can you deal with that aftermath? I couldn't deal with my aftermath. The problem was, when Jesus was looking to pick me up, I was looking to fall down. And when I'm on my fall, I'm looking for middle ground. But there's nowhere to land, so I continue my fall. I ignored his open arms. I lost sight of it all. So I opened my eyes. I realized that this dark pit I was falling into was really a black hole that wanted to consume me whole. So Jesus picked me up and he wiped the sin away. He took this key made out of pure light. He unlocked my shackles and they broke away. He said, you are not to become of the darkness I made away. He said, I am the light, the truth, the way. So each day I can say that I pray. Though I may fall in dismay, by my side Jesus will stay. Okay, Let me wrap this up in this little conclusion. I've been recruited to this winning team, though I have a problem with losing. It's the grace of the situation that has the Almighty Father of this universe forgiving this sinful human. So I guess this is where the poem ends. But this is where my challenge begins. Open your eyes. Stop walking each day leading a double life, saying, God, I love you, but then sinning when you turn your head from Him. Keep your eyes on the path. God has so much more for you. He has a purpose for everything. He has a purpose for each one of you. There's no need to be sad. There's no need for any of that. God has so much for you down the path. Look towards God and He'll make it better. The reason we're so unhappy, the reason I've been so unhappy for so long is because I relied on myself. If you're unhappy, it's because you're relying on yourself. Jesus is knocking at your door saying, let me in. You need to open that door.